Hi guys, Subies here. This week bringing you guessed it, the explanation for my PC build. So last week I did a video on the parts list of the PC build, but I didn't want to bore you guys with the explanations and that sort of thing. So I decided to split that into two parts where I would explain the build this week and just have the parts list last week. So let's get into it. Well, I went for the part because they fitted in with what I wanted and my budget, like I said last week. So take the AMD A8 7600 for example. I've explained that it was a Kaveri chip and that sort of thing. Kaveri is, if you don't know, the latest APU architecture from AMD. So it has an R7 graphics chip like on board, so it uses the desktop grade technology put in with a Athlon CPU. So what that does is that it gives you a quad core chip which has a inbuilt R7 Radeon's graphics inbuilt next to it, so that you're able to not have a graphics card yet still run Battlefield 4 for example on really low settings at 30 FPS. Moving on with the parts list, in my research I found that the APU tend to benefit from like faster RAM and more of the faster RAM. Therefore, I could have just gone for 4 gigs of memory, but I didn't because I didn't want substandard performance from my chip. I wanted good performance for the games that I want to play. With Euro Truck, I normally Unturned, beta version, and TF2. So I wanted a PC that could play these games without too much trouble and still give me decent frames and that sort of thing. And I wanted it to be better than my old computer, which was a Macbook Pro. So I went with the AMD A8 Kaveri chip because of that, and I went for the faster RAM so that the APU could benefit from the faster RAM, and I just went for whatever I thought was best. The Western Digital hard drive was a no-brainer for me because it offered really good performance, it offered high capacity, and I didn't want to go for an SSD because the storage capacity that I needed was I needed quite a bit of storage capacity. So if I went the SSD route, I would have had to pay so much more for the same amount of storage. That's why I went with a traditional hard drive, but I'm now seriously considering getting an SSD where I am able to load my Windows and some of my select games on there so that they can run a bit faster. I didn't go for mouse or keyboard because I had a 7-year-old keyboard, wireless keyboard and mouse set just sitting around. That's the sort of thing with mouse peripherals like monitors and that sort of thing. I had to buy a monitor because I didn't have one beforehand. Therefore, that's why I chose the LG 22M45-B monitor. But I've explained that thoroughly in the previous video, so I don't have to explain that again. I just stuck with my old keyboard because, well, it's still working, and I mean, it's not like I'm gaming full time, so it's not like I need a really high end keyboard, and that's why it's sort of, that's what I did. So now to what I did and what I didn't do with my build. So first things first, it is a little bit slow at running games at higher sort of resolutions, but this PC wasn't actually built for that, so that's like a sort of, just a little bit of an inconvenience sort of thing. But the other thing was, during the build process, I was stupid enough not to download the driver for the graphics, onboard graphics. So what happened with my build was that I had this brilliant CPU, this really high, really good APU in my build, and I was using I had a pretty powerful GPU. It's being clocked in between the R7 250 and the R7 260, right? And I had this awesome GPU, and I just didn't install the driver for it, so it wasn't actually making use of the powerful graphics I have on board. And what Microsoft, what Windows was doing was it was using its basic sort of like graphics accelerator adapter thingy, which gave me an incredible 1 frame a second in unturned on the lowest settings. So that was a little bit of a shock, but after I downloaded the drivers, it just sped up like instantaneously. So note to self, for the next build and for your builds, remember to install the drivers, because yeah, it is not something that you want to miss. Anyways, another thing with this build was that I had problems with my motherboard where it didn't post, which was essentially it didn't start up, right? What happened was I went into the BIOS and I didn't know what I was doing, so I unknowingly overclocked my RAM and my CPU, and it didn't turn out very well. So I had to the CPU literally like overheated and just said, "No, I'm not gonna start up. I don't want to start up your computer now." And what I had to do was essentially just take it out, open up the case, like wait till night. It cooled down, and when I started it, it started up, and it was fine then. And yeah, so a top tip from me to you guys is don't overclock your PC if you don't know what you're actually doing. Like I haven't overclocked my PC because I absolutely have no idea what overclocking does and how to do it, so it's not really an option for me because I don't want to break anything, and it's $700 that you're like wasting if your PC just so happens to decide that during an overclocking thing it just decides to be really unstable and just like stop working. Anyways, thanks guys for listening in to my explanation with my build. Leave me a like if you liked the video. Comment down below about any other videos that you want me to produce, and I will try my best to produce them for you. And I hope this video has been interesting and a learning curve for the people that want to know what happened with my build. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one then. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm going to be doing an unturned sort of beta like preview thing, review thing, that sort of thing. So I mean, subscribe to the channel for that. A video is coming out every week. I'll try to make a video come out every week. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.